Have you ever thought about camping out in the wild on your own, away from campsites, facilities and crowds? Yes? Then you're not alone. I've been learning firsthand from my recent experiences in the very sparsely populated hills and mountains of Ireland. In this video, I'll be going over at a high level the key things that I've found you need to take into consideration. How do you start? Do you need much experience? Does it cost a lot? It certainly does cost something. It's a bit different than just doing a day hike. You have to bear these things in mind. Do I need the best gear? Can I start with basic gear if I'm going to be camping out of a night time? I'll be taking you through some of these points, and maybe you'll have a better idea then of whether it's for you or not. We'll find a camp spot, get the tent up, get a brew on, and we'll have a chat. Well, I'm certainly feeling the weight with this pack. I've got an old Vango Pumori 6010. 35 pounds I weighed it as, having kit in. Not the lightest kit, but then again, that's because it's not the most expensive. As I say, I'm starting this off and I want to see whether I keep it up, whether it's something for me long term. I think it is. Hiking was years ago, and I'm hoping wild camping will be. I'm actually loving it at the moment. Bit of a rise here behind me, so just taking a moment's breather and then head up. These poles are such a godsend in getting up steep ground. You use four-wheel drive to push yourself up. Far more control. And look at that, how much easier it was to get up there. Yeah, wind's picking up. I have the wind slayer on, but I can well imagine you're not picking up too much of this all the same, but I'm experimenting to see what it actually does sound like. So we have Ben Brack, cliffs of it there in the background. Quite impressive. So we're going to the top of that and we'll be seeing if there's anywhere a little bit more out the wind that we can pitch up for tonight. Just behind me is Ben Brack North Top, and just behind me now is the edge of the cliff, so I'm just going to go over there, not too close, it's quite gusty, and see what the view's like. I've not peered over the edge there before, so this will be interesting. Here I'm at Ben Brack Northeast Top. There isn't anything suitable at the top here, so I'll just carry on. I was at that lake before and I know there's nothing good there, but maybe on the way or just on the upslope there to Ben Brack itself. I've got plenty of time, sun's nowhere near setting just yet, and I'm enjoying it, so we'll crack on. Just show you behind me is Cuilcagh. You can see the little pinnacle on the top there, and there's a ridge going all the way around. Just halfway along that ridge down in the valley I did last week's wild camp. Really cosy little spot. I was almost tempted to go back there again tonight, but now let's try somewhere new. Keep trying new places. It's a really pleasant evening. Last time I was up here you couldn't see 50 meters in front of you. It's compass reading, marking a spot, moving on, marking a spot, moving on, all the way up here across to the peak over there and then down out of the mist into the valley. But today I'm not doing any compass work. I did set it initially just in case the clouds come in, but I'm not doing that tonight. I'm just out enjoying myself. Yeah, although I'm managing with this old Vango pack, it's quite heavily loaded. This is for me anyway. A lot of the weight is just on the shoulders here, it's not on the hips, but I'm getting an Osprey Aether 65 litre. I did a lot of research and it was either that or the Atmos. I think either would be good, but I know someone who's got the Aether and they said it was a fantastic pack. So my next wild camp I'll have that. Come across a newly wired up fence here. I don't want to just hop across it and do any damage. I can see further down there's some stones. It's probably where the farmer gets over, so I'm gonna not just pile over this and maybe do some damage there. I want to respect the land, respect the farmers. Yeah, this is a new experience, filming as I'm going and talking away to the camera. I'm not used to it. I wouldn't do this if it was in a group, of course. Another friends quite often go out with the brother-in-law and just have to cut down there, but I'm actually doing a bit of practice talking to camera here. And the more you do, the more experienced you get with it there, and the less self-conscious you should become. It definitely adds another aspect to the hiking. I mean, it takes a little bit longer because you're thinking about things, you're stopping, you're considering what to say, and you have to get the gear as well. It does add another interest to it, so I want to see where it goes. There's a lot of people doing this, some very good ones, and I've listened to others and they're beginning like myself. There's a bit of a breeze and I'm very grateful for a bit of a breeze. Quite happy to put up the tent flapping to keep the midges away. I must try my water filter. Seems like quite a fresh supply. It rains enough anyway, so I know it'll be pretty fresh, and it's right at the top of the mountain. There won't be any fertilizers or pesticides. I'm actually hoping over here now it's going to be dry. It's a bit wet at the moment, but we'll see. Well, I've moved on a lot. The green area in the background is where I thought looked like a good spot from a distance, and of course it's green for a reason. It's green because it's wet. In the end, I just settled on this dry spot here. Doesn't look too much at the moment, but it's the driest around. I've had enough walking around. This will do me. There's no such thing as a perfect spot up in a boggy hill land, so I'm just going to put a warm jacket on and set myself up. So that's the tent up. Not too bad, didn't take me too long. I'm sure it could be done much quicker, but I was in no rush. It wasn't raining, so there we have it. It's a great tent. Loving it so far. So my view tonight is beautiful. Out of Leitrim in the Republic of Ireland. Over there, that's Benbrack northeast top. I thought I'd be pitching a bit closer to that tonight, but hadn't really found a suitable spot. It's very boggy and wet. There's been a great deal of rain. It's only June, isn't it, in Ireland there, so you can't expect anything better. Settling in for the night now. Just got some noodles on the go. Need to do a checklist actually before I come out, because I thought I had everything and realised I'd forgotten my spoon or spork. But luckily I found an old knife in my rucksack. Well, I didn't find it, I made sure I had one anyway, so I can use that just to improvise there, but I'll have to let them cool down and drink them as opposed to forking them out. But there you go, lesson learnt again. Make a checklist. So I posed a question at the beginning of the hike this afternoon. That was, wild camping, is it worth it? So there are several considerations, I think. You have to look at from an individual point of view, the time available. I'm a bit older now. When I was younger and I had a family, then I wouldn't have had the time to do this. I was time poor. I live close to an area where I'm lucky enough where it only take me about 50 minutes, an hour to get to somewhere decent, start a hike 2 hours in, and before you know it, you're up in the hills. I'm lucky that way. I do have access. If you're in a big city, then maybe it's a bit tougher. So those are considerations as well. You need to be thinking about your fitness. You can't put on 35 pounds on your back, walk for 2 hours in, and then in the morning walk for 2 hours out if you don't have a certain level of fitness. But it doesn't have to be perfect. You don't have to go as hard as that to start with, and you gradually build up. But there's huge benefits in it. There's a great sense of freedom and relaxation. You come out here, there's no one bothering you. You can turn the phone off and you can just relax. I mean, it's actually raining slightly and I'm listening to the rain, and it's absolutely fantastic. I love it. So actually I hope it does pour down tonight. Now I don't want it raining in the morning when I'm getting up and packing the tent away, but it can pour down anytime it likes now. So overall, for me, is wild camping worth it? 1000% it's worth it, but you do have to think about those points that I've brought up. Maybe list the pros and the cons, and then talk to people maybe who've already done it. Look at a lot of these YouTubers. There's great advice on YouTube. I'm no expert. I am getting more gear. I should have my Osprey rucksack for the next one. So if anyone's interested in that, then that'll be the first outing and we'll do a rundown on it. I'll leave it there for tonight and I'll do a little bit more in the morning on the way out. A nice bright fresh morning. Right, that's me all packed up. checking the campsite. Yeah, that's great. You wouldn't think anyone had been there. Walking back here now, and I just realised I'm hiking over what's probably an old ancient pathway. You can just about make out it wouldn't have been used in many, many years. But then it makes me think that the whole country years ago was much warmer, and people were living at higher elevations. Of course, it could just be a quad bike track. Until next time, cheerio.